It says now we're being live streamed.
Okay, well,
It says meeting is now live on Facebook.
that's awesome.
That is so awesome.
Take two.
Take two. All right. Awesome. And there we are for real.
Okay.
Excellent. Listen, if you're here with us live, please do comment so that we can know that you can see us, because we couldn't see us.
We just had a little Zoom thing go on, so we don't
So-
really even know what it was.
And look, it says we're live now.
All right.
It says we're live in the online event.
That helps.
So now we know where we are. All right. So awesome. I'm Melanie McCool, and this is my husband.
I'm Sean.
And we are totally passionate about helping hypnosis to be more understood and utilized by the people who really need us, and helping hypnotherapists to be properly compensated for the
Right on.
profound change work that we do. And so I'm going to hop right in now that
I'm gonna
we're
get back
running
to
a
my
couple of
station.
minutes late, and make sure that we're here. And I'm going to give you something super valuable right now because I love people, and I especially love people who show up on time. And we were here on time. We just had a tech snag. So let me just, before I do, real quick, I'm just going to make sure that I can see these comments because I want to be able to participate in the conversation with you. And yes, Karen is here. Now I know we're really live because Karen's here.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Very
Okay,
cool.
we're there.
We are there. All right. So as we get started here, I'm actually going to do something with you that I do with my private clients. And I'm going to do this for you right now. So if that sounds good, if you'd like to just go through a little process with me. I mean, I am a hypnotherapist, so it's kind of the way we do things around here. We're going to bring things down a notch, down to a peaceful place, right? So if that sounds good to you, just give it a thumbs up. Siobhan, you're perfectly fine
Okay.
here in the group. Appreciate you and welcome. So what I'd like for you to do is just make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Just take a deep breath in and let it go slowly. And then I'm just going to ask you a question. Where were you when you decided that you wanted to help people with hypnotherapy? When you decided you wanted to be a successful hypnotherapist? Just close your eyes now for a moment. Think about that and just consider where you were, what you were doing. And if nothing really pops into your mind right now, then I want to know where you are right now, because that moment is right now. I can tell you that your success is inevitable when you have the keys to unlock the money in your mind and your business. All righty. So we're going to just keep rolling here. I'm going to ask you to just allow yourself the space and time. It's for you. Nobody's going to bother you or disturb you. So just take a moment and close your eyes right down. We're not going deep into trance. I'm just going to ask you some questions to help your mind to go in the right direction. I like to say, turn your imagination in the right direction, right? So I'm going to ask you to jump right into your future now and imagine, what would happen if you consistently attracted people who needed your help and were happy to pay your fee? And you can share in the comments, or you can let that vision be with you as you continue to watch and engage with the rest of this class. As I ask you, what would happen if you didn't consistently attract people who needed your help and were happy to pay your fee? And you can share in the comments, or just let that vision be with you as you continue to watch and engage with the class. And what would happen if you did consistently attract people who needed your help and were happy to pay your fee? What wouldn't happen if you consistently attracted people who needed your help and we're happy to pay your fee? Just breathe and let that go slowly. What wouldn't happen if you didn't consistently attract people who needed your help and were happy to pay your fee? That's right. You don't need to answer that. If you want to, you can just drop your insights. But I want to ask, do we have any hypnotherapists here today, or people who work with deep subconscious change work? Where are my change makers? Give me a wave or something. Let me know that you're here in the comments. Because what we were just doing as people were showing up, well, it all probably seems familiar, right? It's something that we do when we're transforming lives in our practice, when we help other people. So how often do you use the tools to transform your life? Do you have a hypnotherapist? I do. Fortunately for me, it's Sean, whom you may already have met because he's also my business partner. Delightful. I'm Melanie McCool. I'm the Entrepreneur's Hypnotherapist, and I want to thank you for being here, for being the kind of person who does what it takes to grow, who's in the growth mindset. You are about to learn something of use and delight to you. So relax, get yourself a cup of tea or at least a nice cup of water and a notepad and a pen. You're going to need it as you take this journey of discovery with me. So as you're here, I've promised you a growth plan, and I'm going to deliver. Because knowing that tonight is really about you, it's about your success and fulfillment in your practice. And I'm not going to stop right now and tell you about my wonderful family and why I'm a master of attraction marketing. I've built a six-figure hypnotherapy practice right out the gate. I'm a sales confidence trader, a money blocks buster, or a leader of leaders. Over this class, I'm going to share a bit with you about my 22 years of experience in business and sales and marketing and successfully building multiple businesses. But I'm just not going to stop and do things the way that they're typically done. So if you're cool with that, just let me know. You're cool with us doing things a little different here. Now, should you choose to link arms with us, you will learn. You'll learn more for sure about who we are and why we're so passionate about our mission to make hypnosis more understood and utilized by the public, and why we are incredibly passionate about hypnotherapists and change makers to be properly compensated for the profound work we do. And I am speaking to those of you who want more, those of you who are fairly new, and those of you who have been in business for some time and you're still not where you want to be in your business. And when we wrap up here today, I promise you're going to have a growth plan. And I will be inviting those of you who recognize the gap between where you are now and where you want to be and would like the help, to link arms with the MindWorks team to have a chat. Please understand that what we're doing today, it is for you. And I am speaking from experience. This is not theory. I am about to share with you exactly how I was certified and then built a multiple six-figure practice out the gate, a practice that built 50% year over year. And my goal today is to help you to identify the areas that you need to invest in yourself to create reliable income, the steady clients and reliable income in your practice. And because we do things a little differently around here, I'm not going to dive right into what they're probably expecting they're going to hear from a sales and marketing expert and a trainer. And first, we're actually going to illuminate the reasons that you may not be as far along as you'd like to be. These reasons that you may be hitting this kind of financial thermostat in your life and in your business. Because you probably have a conscious idea of what you should do, right? But as a hypnotherapist, you probably know that we've got to go a whole lot deeper to actually change habits. And it can happen really fast, but the first step is awareness, right? So we're going to illuminate these limiting beliefs about yourself, your place in the world as it relates to money and success. Because unless you actually do something about these limiting beliefs that are at the realm of the subconscious mind, right? They're in the back of the mind. They will self-sabotage your life, right? You will sabotage your own success. So we're going to uncover these beliefs so that they can't, well, keep you in a loop of mediocrity. All right. So if you're cool with that, if you're ready to do some uncovering of the sneaky subconscious programming that's probably at the helm of your business, just let me know that you're ready here with a little thumbs up and we could dive right on in.
I got my thumbs up.
Well, let's do it. So at this time, we're not going deep into trance. I would like for you to take a long, slow, deep breath, because if we're going to access the deepest feeling part of you, we've got to kind of slow down a bit. And so just take a nice deep breath. And what I'm going to do over the next couple of minutes is I'm going to go through a series of statements. And I want you to check in with the deepest feeling part of you. I want you to notice what comes up for you. And I'm not talking about what you should consciously know. We're not looking for conscious answers, I promise you. We're looking for what your gut says, or what your sub says. So as I state these statements, you have a choice. You can keep your eyes closed and just continue to go through the process so you can see things. They can be illuminated for you. Or you could open your eyes and write down the things that seem to like give you a little, oh, what is that? Like, I thought I was over that. I thought I'd outgrown that. Or, I know, wow, I didn't realize that was keeping me so stuck. So with that, if we've got the rules down, we're just going to go right on into it. And as I said, we're not going into trance. We're not going into hypnosis here. I'm literally just asking you to drop down just a level, just so that you can listen to what the deepest feeling part of you thinks about these things. All righty. So with that, you can just take a nice deep breath in, and you can let your eyes close right down only as quickly as you're ready to illuminate these limiting beliefs. And as you just allow yourself to slowly breathe in and out through your belly, just softening your belly and bringing that breath all the way down, stretching your lower ribs and then letting it go slowly. That's right. And as I say these words, just becoming aware of how you feel and what comes up for you. As I say, money is. Wealth is. Really rich people are. If I have a lot of money, the reason I don't have a lot of money is the problem with being rich is if I have a really successful practice, I'm afraid I'll have to sacrifice what? Technology is. Online marketing is. Advertising my business is. Sales is. Salespeople are. Social media marketing. Business networking public speaking, being on camera, managing your business. There we go. And just the initial hit, what do you get with those? Now, take a look at your childhood and your family. Just go right on back in your mind. It's very easy. Your mind has a library back there. It remembers everything. And you ask yourself, what were the beliefs and thoughts around money, wealth, success that you grew up with? My mom said or thought money was. My dad said or thought money was. Growing up, I learned that money was. And while you're here, just ask this great big question, what am I risking if I have a really successful business, if I go after my dreams, if I have all of these clients that got the change that they asked for in life, what am I risking? And just ask yourself, which of these feel the worst? You can put a star next to it. And you could just come right back up as I asked Sean, hit the at everyone. And just considering what you just experienced, and don't be too concerned if they felt like that went too fast or anything. You can always be aware that all of these questions are going to continue to ricochet around your subconscious mind. These answers are going to come to you. They're super important because all of these negative beliefs, they could be hiding under the surface, right? And regardless of the amount of personal and professional development, regardless of the number of certifications you have, regardless of how much you work with other people to solve these issues, that's a huge one, right? All that you've invested in yourself, all of this, regardless of all of it, if these negative beliefs are at the helm of your subconscious, right? They're self-sabotaging, limiting beliefs. And they are what's between you and a multiple six-figure practice, or potentially even the consideration of what it would take to scale your practice to 7 figures or beyond. It's like you have one foot on the gas, right? With all the conscious work that you're doing. Even being here, you showed up here. You're like, hey, I totally want to have more clients and steady income and grow my business. Heck yeah, I want to see more clients. That's conscious. You're here. Regardless, there's a foot on the brake, right? Because of this self-sabotaging, sneaky programming. So let me tell you a story that would be all right. Because like many of you, him included, I had a life-changing experience with hypnotherapy. And truly, I was compelled to do this work. Like I couldn't have done anything else at that point in my life. And some of you may really resonate, may find that my burnout to breakthrough story, it kind of mirrors your own. But anyway, when I got my first certification, and I have 9 now and counting. I'm doing another one next month because I love this stuff. Love it. And I know that some of you have multiple certs too. How many do you have? And who did you learn from? And even if it's not just a hypnotherapy cert, just tell me what the training that you've had in this kind of change work. Just post that in the comments for me. I'm always interested. Now, here's the thing. When I was certified, I was fortunate. I had 17 years of experience in entrepreneurship. So I was actually a sales and marketing consultant before I burned out and found hypnosis. right? So when I began, I actually applied the passion and everything I knew about sales and marketing and technology. And I grew a six-figure practice out the gate. I mean, I was compelled to do this work, and I was determined to get the change work that I had gotten the toolbox for out to help people who I knew desperately needed this, right? But here's what I know. My colleagues that were certified at the same time, most of them did not. And listen, I know they're just as passionate as me about hypnosis. I was right there with them. Most of them had life transforming experiences with it as well. And I saw their hearts. I knew they wanted to help people, but with zero business experience, many of them, and no sales and marketing training, they really didn't know how to reach the people who really need them. And this is really what motivates me, because we've got this hordes of people who are totally overqualified to help people, not just qualify with their certifications and their toolbox, with their hearts, right?
Totally. I mean, Melanie, I was just on with somebody the other day who told me they wanted to quit because they couldn't get their head around the technology.
You know, I have colleagues that I know quit because they couldn't get their head around technology or sales, marketing, business, running your business, legal, finances, operations, all that stuff, right? All of it. I've seen it over and over again, and it's heartbreaking. And you know what? I don't think it's unreasonable to think that you would have, paid for that certification and thought you were going to have a career out the gate. I mean, I think my first one cost me like $11,000. And if I didn't think I was going to have a career out the gate, that would be, well, devastating. And I've seen it. Right. So, and then there are stories. There's the stories I hear day in, day out. And there's the people who tried to go at it and they found a world of options out there to how they're supposed to grow their business, but they aren't tailored for hypnotherapists. Right. So you've got a world of options and they're presented as magic bullets. They're really expensive magic bullets, right? So does anybody else know what I'm talking about? The expensive, shiny objects, right? Have you been distracted? You may even be of the mind that you think it takes big money to make money because of all those high-end coaching programs that are out there. And I know that might even feel like a wall that keeps you from what you truly desire. It's a practice that supports you, but more so even it's the fulfillment of working with your dream clients. That's really why we're here, isn't it? And I think that our being able to have that fulfillment of really helping people is something that is deserved. And like I said, you were certified, you thought you'd have a viable career. You were sold that you'd have a viable career, right? So you may know that this is for you, right? If any of this resonates, if this makes sense. All right. So now I'm going to tell you what I did and what my clients do differently than those who never have 10K plus months in their business. All right. So this is what it actually takes to run a thriving practice without burnout. And I am so serious about the not burnout part. I am not talking about having a full calendar and no life. I'm talking about a practice that actually serves your lifestyle. So let's get that straight. My specialty is actually burnout recovery hypnosis. I'm the entrepreneur's hypnotherapist, right? I actually help people to earn more money with less work. And my clients will tell you that's exactly the outcome that they find. So we're definitely not talking about overworking or getting to the point, as I've had the conversations with people who are like ready to, step back, step out because they're just overwhelmed. They're burning out. They're burning out from helping people. There's a different way. So let's demystify this, right? And listen, if you walk away with only one thing today, and you feel really confident to go at it on your own, right? I want to give you the growth plan that I promised you. It's super simple. So if you've got your notepad ready, right? then let's go for it. Ready? So this is what it takes to build your practice to 6 figures and beyond without burnout. Right? You need a core offer. You need marketing so that your potential clients actually know that you're the one that's going to help them to solve their problem. You got to get those sales calls booked. You need a heart-centered sales script, the right way to take payment. You got to fulfill the offer with expertise and then collect testimonials. Rinse and repeat. That's it. That's all it really takes. You have it. I've delivered on my promise. That's the plan, right? And if you really think that you could do it on your own, awesome. But if you're not confident that you can do it on your own, take a deep breath, let it go, and look back at the areas that we eliminated in the process earlier, okay? Look at that paper, really look at it. What did you put stars next to? Because those are the areas that you lack confidence in, or the areas that you feel negativity about the areas that you've got to grow in. And that's really where you've got to invest in yourself in. This is non-negotiable. Otherwise, you could just ride around on training wheels your whole life and wonder why you didn't get there, right? So let's break it down a little bit further. Because most people aren't sales and marketing experts. And listen, I was fortunate. I didn't think it was luck, Sean. It wasn't luck that I came out the gate and built a 6-figure practice. No, I know why I did. I followed the plan, a plan that I'd followed many times before to have successful businesses. It's the same plan I just shared with you. So I hope you made note. So what were the skills that I developed over 22 plus years that you can lean on to hit the easy button? Well, first, I've got a confession. For over 22 years, I have relied on my robots to work for me, even while I sleep. Yeah. And my robots, they work for me. They work 24 hours a day, and they do things that I'd be doing if I was working 24 hours a day.
She's not talking about me.
No, no. No, I'm actually talking about automations, about different softwares and automations. And listen, I would never, ever, ever run a business without the most high-tech tools that are available, right? These save me time and my energy, my precious energy. And that's time and energy that I get to spend with the people I love, doing what I love, enjoying my life. And I'll bet that you didn't start your business to be a slave to business. No, you started to help people, and you were sold on a career that would be very lucrative, right? And you really saw that dream lifestyle, right? So how's it going for you now? Because even for those of you who have managed to put the pieces together, I do hear from some of you that you're ready to just shut her down because you're burning out. And there is so much stress that can be alleviated and time reclaimed with the right technology. Now, for example, I have had a website that captures people's emails since 2006. I've been building an email list since 2006, and I regularly sign on clients who've been on my list for 2-3 years or more. I've even had clients come into my hypnotherapy practice who have been on my list for 7 years, right? It's wild, isn't it? And my robots just kept working for me. So do you have an email list? Or does the thought of like all the steps that it takes to put that together just kind of spin your head around, right? I get it. I totally get it. And that is why you'd be happy to know we can make it easy for you, right? And listen, tech is just one of the ways that we help you. One of the secrets to a multiple 6-figure practice without burnout. So I'll ask you, wouldn't it be nice to have technology that's done for you and then working for you 24/7? with AI powered automations, tirelessly is the key. Working to convert those looky-loos to clients, and no matter how long it takes, right? Wouldn't it be wonderful to have robots working for you? Because I'll tell you what, they never give up. They have no fear of rejection, and they're really wicked salespeople. They're amazing. So smart technology is just one of the things that myself and my successful clients do differently. And you may be thinking, well, this has something to do with your website, calendars, email lists, etc. And that's true. But if you haven't learned this already, I will tell you that this is not the field of dreams. And just having a website does not mean they will come. Nope. You actually need marketing too, right? Who knew that you had to get good at that? Did you put a star next to this one on your list? Because I'll ask, when somebody sees your messaging on your website or on social media, or when you meet them in person and you have a conversation, are they certain that you're the one to help them with their problem? Or are you unsure? That right there, super important. And let's say you do have your marketing kind of dialed in. Your niche is there. You've got your messaging, your core offer. If your marketing does get inquiries and the calls are booked, so now you got people on the phone. How's that going for you? Now, who knew that you had to ace sales calls to be a hypnotherapist? Oh, you didn't know. Well, now you do. But if you don't know how to handle those calls properly, the people who need you, they can't say yes. This is super important. So if, alas, do you have that heart-centered sales script, right? That I mentioned earlier, the one that converts like 80% when you get the people on the phone who are your ideal clients, right? And if not, then that could be something major to work on. I have talked to people who told me they've had hundreds of conversations and not signed on a single client. There's something wrong there, okay? And even if it's not 100, if it's 10 and you haven't signed on a client.
Shivani brought up niching.
Not yet. So that's a clear indication that you've got a major problem. You not only have training wheels, you got a flat tire. All right. And listen, we don't have time here. Don't have time to go into operations, finances, building a team to scale, delegating, all that stuff, all the other things that it actually takes to run a thriving business. But you do have the growth plan. I've given it to you. And so you have this conscious idea of what it takes to have a thriving practice. And you have eliminated the self-sabotaging thoughts and feelings that must be overcome to grow. And we didn't even really touch on money anxiety, but eliminating money anxiety is my area of expertise. It's why I'm known as the entrepreneur's hypnotherapist and created my program for prosperity. It's a self-hypnosis gamified online course, and it's really a game changer for many of my clients. Eliminating money anxiety is relevant for you at every stage of your business. I have worked with people who are on the verge of multi-millions with major money anxiety. So please don't think that it's just something that goes away when you hit that, golden six-figure mark, because it doesn't. And it inhibits your life in so many ways. It'll stop you from attracting those clients. All right. So in the grand scheme of things, it only took me 22 years to create a business that I love and lights me up, and it serves my lifestyle versus, me working for it. And I could leave you with the growth plan that I've already given you, but if it's all right by you, I'd like to save you 22 years and at least $100,000 that I've invested into myself, plus all the trials and tribulations. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, Sean and I, we are on a mission. We're passionate to make hypnosis more understood and utilized by those who need it. And this is how we do it. There's a ripple effect, right? And by giving you the keys to unlock the money in your mind, that ripple begins. And all of the keys, they'll be made available to you in this group, all right? And you can collect them along the way. You can put them on your massive key ring, right? And you can use them when you're ready. Or you could push the easy button with us.
Oh, and hey, don't forget, we're going to have
yeah.
interviews in the group too with 6-figure hypnotherapists.
I'm so excited. We've got some of my colleagues and people I haven't even met yet. That's right. If you are someone who'd be excited to share with our audience, please let Sean know and tune in for those lives that we'll have, because we'll have, we are excited to share what other people have done, people with different experiences, different parts of the world, starting their practices in different times. There's many, many valuable lessons to be learned. So, all right. All right, now stop. I don't want you to get too excited about your future, right? Because anything less than not following this advice isn't wealth, freedom, and success, though, isn't it? I mean, you could continue to go back to scrolling through the feed and feel left behind because other people, they seem to have all the answers. Or you could remain in confusion about the next whiz-bang shiny object tactic, something that's probably not even geared for hypnotherapy. Don't go putting the wrong wheels on your car, okay? Be careful to not follow advice that is not tailored for hypnotherapists. Or you could allow yourself to hit the easy button and you could leverage our combined 50 plus years in business and expertise to grow your practice. So I'm going to invite you to book your call right now. And during your call, we're going to establish where you are, where you want to go, and your unique path to get there, and faster than you ever thought possible. So I'm going to ask you now to type keys, please, right below this video to book your call right now. And by taking this next step, you really aren't just helping yourself, you're furthering the mission of helping hypnosis to be more understood and utilized by a hurting world, by the people who need it. So
I did what Rosemary just said. Clients said they manifested meeting.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That's right. We'll hit on that right there. I do want you to type keys, please. Sean will be in touch via messenger to book that call. And you know what, Rosemary? I'm gonna speak to that right now because that's so true. One of the first things, and I'll give you this gift and this key right now. We'll repeat it in the group as one of the lessons. One of the most profound things that you can do is to just imagine the people who, and I always see them to my right, the people who are so grateful that they found you, that you were there and you had a message that spoke to them so they would take action. They're grateful they found you because now they're living their best life. Now they're free from whatever was binding them before. You imagine those people grateful, and they may even forget who you are. Does that really even matter? Of course it doesn't, but they're just grateful. And when you imagine them and they're the reason that you take the next steps, when you book your call, you take the steps to actually do the things that will help you to get in front of them, then your clients are going to say, they manifested meeting you, but you know what you did? I'm getting chills. You followed the direction to actually put yourself in front of them, and you were smart enough to say it in a way that they knew you were the one to help them. And so it will feel very much like they manifested meeting you. Because as they say, when you're ready, the teacher will come. You get to arrive, but you can't arrive if you stay hidden, my friends. So
Now, I want to say something before we go.
Sure.
I want to thank you all for being here, number one.
yeah,
And I want to thank you for being the change makers that you are, because the change that you help make in the lives of the people that you work with, they impact everyone. They
yeah,
impact me, they impact my children, they impact my children's children. So that's another reason why we're doing what we're doing, because it is a ripple effect. And this really is the way to do it. So, more
Yeah.
of you guys helping more people is where it's at.
that's where we are. So I'm here to give you everything I know, and plus invite in my friends that'll tell us more things that they know. And we're gonna help to we're shifting. We're doing it right now, and
Plus,
you're
we
part of
love
that.
you.
And plus, we love you. Yeah, awesome. So with that, on behalf of the entire MindWorks team, we look forward to helping you to unlock the money in your mind. And so with that, I will say good night, and we'll look for those keys. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. And that's a wrap.